Before the frost sets in and the grid goes dark, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because the algorithm doesn't care about your survival, but we do. Drop a comment below telling us the lowest temperature you've ever had to endure without heat. Now, listen to the silence. It starts with the hum of the refrigerator dying. Then the blower on the furnace spins down to a halt. That silence is the sound of the clock starting. Outside, a polar vortex has crushed the power grid, turning your neighborhood into a frozen graveyard. Inside, your home is no longer a sanctuary. It is a poorly insulated box bleeding heat into the void. The temperature is dropping 2 degrees every hour. You feel the panic rising, the urge to pace the hallway, or the deadly temptation to crack open the gas oven door for a blast of the warmth. That is the mistake that kills you. Whether it's hypothermia taking you in your sleep, or the silent assassin of carbon monoxide pooling in your living room, the threat is real, and the threat is right now. But you aren't going to freeze, and you aren't going to poison your family. We are going to fight the entropy. We are going to use the laws of thermodynamics, common household items, and sheer grit to turn your dying house into a survival engine. Your first move is a radical psychological shift. You must abandon your home. You need to stop thinking of yourself as a resident of a 3-bedroom house and start thinking like a submariner. You are going to build a microclimate. The physics here are simple. Your body is a 98-degree heater, but it cannot heat 2,000 square feet of open air. Pick the smallest, most internal room in the house, preferably a walk-in closet or a bathroom without windows. This is now your entire world. Drag your mattresses off the beds and line the walls. Throw yoga mats and heavy rugs on the floor. You are creating thermal mass and stopping the cold from seeping up through the foundation. By shrinking your square footage to a 10 by 10 box, the body heat of you and your family becomes a potent heating element capable of keeping that small space 20 degrees warmer than the rest of the rotting house. The pro tip here is to hang a heavy wool blanket over the doorway rather than just closing the door, creating an airlock that allows moisture to escape while trapping the heat, preventing the damp clamminess that leads to mold and misery. Once your fortress is established, you need to stop the house from destroying itself. This is the plumber's triage. The water in your pipes is a ticking time bomb. As it freezes, it expands with unstoppable hydraulic force, and a burst pipe in a freezing house is a catastrophe that ends your shelter. Go to your main shutoff valve immediately and kill the water supply to the house. Then, go to the lowest faucet in your home, usually in the basement or a utility sink, and open it. Go to the highest faucet and open that too. You are draining the veins of the house, so there is nothing left to freeze. But here is the magic that most people miss. Do not drain your hot water heater tank. That is 40 to 60 gallons of potable water sitting in an insulated drum. By shutting off the main intake, but leaving the tank full, you have secured a massive emergency reservoir that won't freeze for days. When you need water, use the drain valve at the bottom of the tank. It's the cleanest source you have left. Now look at the windows. In a survival scenario, glass is your enemy. It is a thermal bridge that sucks heat out via conduction and radiation. You need to apply window armor. Grab that bubble wrap you've been saving from packages or even heavy garbage bags. Spray a fine mist of water on the glass. This is the secret adhesive. And press the bubble wrap directly against the pane, bubble side facing the glass. Then tape the edges airtight. What you are doing is creating a pocket of dead airspace. Air that doesn't move is an incredible insulator. You are essentially upgrading your windows to triple pane glass with trash. If you don't have bubble wrap, use wool blankets, but ensure they are tacked up tight against the frame. A hanging curtain allows a draft to circulate behind it, cooling the room, but a sealed blanket traps that cold air against the glass and keeps it there. With the house secured, look to your own body. You need to master the clothing thermostat, and the golden rule here is that cotton is death. When cotton gets wet with sweat, it loses all insulating ability and sucks heat away from your body 25 times faster than air. Strip down to your base layer and switch to synthetics, wool, or fleece. You need to create layers of trapped air around your core. But the expert edge here isn't just about putting clothes on, it's about taking them off. If you're moving furniture or building your fort and you start to sweat, you're in the danger zone. Sweat in a freezing environment is a precursor to hypothermia. Regulate your temperature aggressively. If you feel warm, vent a layer immediately. You want to be comfortably cool, never hot. Dryness is the only warmth that matters. As the sun sets and the deep cold sets in, you need a heat source that doesn't rely on the grid or dangerous combustion. This is where we build the hot water battery. If you have a safe way to boil water, like a camping stove used outdoors or near a cracked window, do not just drink it. Pour that boiling water into Nalgene bottles, mason jars, or thick rubber bladders. Wrap these vessels in a single, heavy wool sock. Now, place one of these bottles at the bottom of your sleeping bag and another one between your thighs. You have just created a timed release thermal battery. The water holds a massive amount of heat energy and releases it slowly through the insulation of the sock. Placed near your femoral arteries, it warms your blood as it circulates, raising your core temperature from the inside out. A good bottle can radiate heat for 6 to 8 hours, getting you through the darkest part of the night. Speaking of darkness, the psychological weight of a pitch black house can be crushing. Flashlights run out of batteries and candles burn too fast. You need the scavenger's lamp. Go to the kitchen and grab a glass jar, a piece of wire or a paper clip, a strip of cotton from an old t-shirt, and vegetable oil, Crisco, olive oil, or even bacon grease. Twist the cotton into a wick. Use the wire to hold it upright in the jar and fill it with oil until just the tip of the wick is exposed. Light it. This isn't just a flickering candle. It is a physics hack using capillary action. The oil is drawn up the wick and vaporized. 1 cup of vegetable oil can burn for days, providing a steady, comforting light and a tiny amount of heat. It smells like cooking, which is a morale booster, and it saves your high-tech battery for when you really need them. Finally, you must fuel the internal furnace. Your body burns calories to generate heat, a process called thermogenesis. If you go to bed on an empty stomach, you will wake up shivering. Before you crawl into your fort for the night, consume a high-fat, high-protein meal, peanut butter, canned chili, or even a spoonful of olive oil. Digestion is an exothermic reaction. Breaking down dense fats creates actual physical heat in your gut. Think of food as solid fuel for your biological stove. The expert mistake to avoid here is drinking alcohol. It might make you feel warm by diluting your blood vessels, but it actually rushes blood to your skin where the heat is lost to the air, accelerating hypothermia. Eat fat, drink water, and stay sober. When the grid finally flickers back to life and the furnace roars into action, the feeling of relief will be overwhelming. But you won't be celebrating because a rescue crew arrived. You'll be celebrating because you engineered your own survival. The house is standing. The pipes didn't burst because you drained them. Your family is safe because you condensed your living space. You didn't succumb to the panic of the freeze. You adapted to the reality of the cold. You stopped fighting the weather and started using physics. You realized that your thermostat was a luxury, but your mind was the only essential utility. The next time the power dies, you won't look at your dark living room with fear. You'll look at it as a tactical challenge. You'll know that with a few blankets, a shut-off valve, and a jar of oil, you are the master of your domain. You don't need electricity to be powerful. You just need to be resourceful. Stay warm, stay smart, and refuse to be a victim. If you found these tips useful, drop a like and tell us in the comments, what is the one piece of survival gear you keep in your house that isn't actually gear? We'll see you in the next one.